Hey everybody, I'm just waking up from a nap that I had. Uh, I woke up like around 8 something, I believe. Cause I'm really tired from work. But I just want to show you guys something about the moon, and so you guys understand what I'm talking about. Cause I know a lot of people are talking about the Bible and everything about the moon, what it says about the Bible. I mean, what it says about the moon, the Bible, and everything. But just because you see all these things in the Bible don't mean we fully understand everything that's in the Bible. And y'all just have to see it for yourself. Like that's why you have to look at things. And when you look at it, you have to ask questions instead of just being quiet about it. You have to ask yourself, why can you see through the dark part of the moon? And there's another question that you need to ask yourself. How come the moon don't rotate? You ever ask yourself that question? They'll give you a reason why the moon don't rotate in a circle, as they claim that these so-called planets and everything else that's out there that we don't see. But they explain to you why the moon don't turn around like this like other planets do. For instance, this is a ball, this is a planet. Why don't the moon rotate like this if it's a planet? Why the moon just stay in one position? It's always that same side we've seen since you was a child, since you was a kid, before you was even born. You see that same side. But they tell you about the other side of the moon. They tell you how it look or whatever the case may be with that, which is all just fake anyway. But they can tell you how it look, but they won't. They'll try to give an explanation of why it don't rotate. Like the planet Earth rotates like this. It didn't tell you the reason why the moon don't do that. It just, you guys, that's why you have to wake up, because y'all know that don't make any sense. Y'all know what NASA says don't make sense. It don't make any sense. Like with all these planets, where's the planets at? Where's Jupiter? Where's Saturn? Where's Neptune? Where's Mars and all them other planets? Where are they? If they out there, how come we can't see them? All we see is stars. Every time we look through our telescope, we see stars, but they tell us that they're planets. And you see the images they have. The images they have of these planets is only what they have. We haven't. There is not one single human being on this earth that has a planet through their telescope that you can literally see a planet through your telescope. And I mean as clear as day. How do they have planets through their telescope clear as day? How do they have that stuff? You ever ask yourself that question, like how are they getting these images of these planets? But when you look through your telescope, you get stars. They are playing y'all like a fool. Like I said, the word NASA, you switch the words around and it's spelled out Satan. And all they doing is lying to you. Everything they ever told you, everything you ever seen from them is a lie. Moon landings, all that stuff is lies. Look at these movies they making. Do these movies look real to you? Of course they do. That's what they using to do moon landings. And you have to wonder, why haven't they go back to the moon if that was the case? Do you know we have the best technology now? Since, before I was even born, they went to the moon. And the technology back then was horrible. You telling me now they have not went back to the moon since then, and we have great technology now? It should be a lot easier to go to the moon, right? It should be a lot easier. These are the questions you need to ask. You need to come out your box and ask questions. Still being scared of these people. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Nobody is not, trying to deceive you or anything. Nobody's deceiving you. I'm not deceiving you, you know? I'm just a regular guy putting two and two together. I'm not an idiot. They think that you're stupid. They want they want y'all to be under their control, do what they want you to do, and not ask any questions. That's what they want y'all to do, and y'all doing exactly what they telling y'all to do. Cause nobody that I know is asking any questions. Y'all just doing what they telling y'all to do. But you have to ask yourself. We have better technology now, and they have not went back to the moon since. And then have you noticed back then when they go to the so-called space? You see these space shuttles go up and they 3, 2, 1 lift off. They lift off. Do y'all have y'all noticed that when they lift off into so-called space that the space shuttle would lean forward, like it would lean sideways, not towards the moon, not towards space, but it leans sideways like an airplane. You ever you ever thought about that? How did it ever cross your mind to just to just ask yourself, why is that space shuttle going sideways instead of going straight up to space? You ever ask yourself that question? Because they're going to give you a stupid reason to the reason why that's happening. All because of gravity, or all because the Earth is a ball, so the space shuttle has to go that way in order to get out to go to space. You have to ask yourself the question, like, that don't make any sense. It should just go straight up out of space. It shouldn't have to go sideways in order to go to space. You have to ask yourself that question. Just think about it. Don't don't let these people look at you as a fool. Oh, you have to overcome these people, man, because they looking at y'all as some idiots. Because y'all not researching, y'all not doing anything yourselves, but just listening to NASA, listening to scientists, listening to your teachers, listen to your boss. you know, you're not thinking for yourself. It's like you're being controlled, and uh, do you see that? You have no freedom. Like you're scared to come out and speak because you're scared of man. But you always say you fear God, but it's like you fear man, and you think about it. You're fearing man because you're not doing anything to change nothing but being their slaves. That's you fear man. That's why you do what they say, because you fear them. I don't know if you realize that. I don't know if you realize what I just said to you. But you fear men. That's why you're doing what they tell you to do. You fear them. And you do fear men because you're doing what they want you to do. You're not going out trying to figure out what you live on. You're not going out looking at so-called space with your telescope and looking at these stars yourself and seeing that you cannot look beyond the firmament. You can't look beyond it because it's a firmament above us. So how can you look beyond something that has a solid glass? You can't look beyond that because it's like some type of material that's solid glass or solid diamond or whatever it is that's covering us. You can't look past that with your telescope. All you see is stars and darkness. It's because it's a projection. When you have a projector, for instance, because we have one in this house. You have a projector and you put it on the wall or whatever, like it appears on the wall, and you see space. It looks so realistic. You get your telescope and you try to look beyond, but your telescope you can't because there's something behind that projector that's using it as a television, pretty much. Like a wall, for instance. You'll have your projector going against the wall. The image will be on the wall. So you use your telescope to try to go beyond it. You can't because it's a wall, and it's nothing but darkness. But then you will see like little specks of stars.
I should be back.
Sorry about that. My niece was leaving, so Just wanted to say goodbye to them. But I forgot where I left off from, but you guys get my point. Yeah, with the projection thing, you try to look beyond that, and you can't. But all you're gonna see is nothing but darkness, because you're looking at a wall pretty much, or some type of object that's behind that projection, and all you're gonna see is just the same stuff, But I'm going to show y'all a video of the moon. This is something that I seen myself with my telescope through it. But I'm about to show y'all. Now, I just want y'all to understand something. You have to ask yourself this question. You see the dark side? This is what I was talking about, what I see in my dream. This dark side here. I'm going to pause it. This is what I saw. This dark side here, it on like in the dream, it's like it turned off. You know how we normally see it and it would just disappear slowly? In my dream, it turned off, this part here. And then this part turned off too, and then turned back on. Because I felt that was probably an accident. They did it by accident. And they turned this back on real fast. I seen it with my own eyes in a dream. And this right here, there's nothing there. You can't you can't look you can actually look through this with your telescope. There's nothing right here no more, because it's a projection. The projection itself is just darkened this side up, but there's actually nothing there, even though you can see little specks and everything. But it's actually nothing right there. There is no moon anymore right here. Like you see here, this is gone. But when the light come back to it, you'll see the moon again. That's just how they got it set up, And then the moon do not rotate. You've been seeing the same stuff all your entire life. You ever wonder why the moon don't rotate to the other side, or rotate period? You have to ask yourself that question. Why you can't see the back side of the moon? It's not because it can't rotate or it stopped rotating. It never rotated. They just telling y'all because y'all realizing that the moon we never see the other side of the moon. We always see the same side. So y'all ask these questions like, I guess someone probably came out and asked, why we don't see the other side of the moon? So they want to give y'all an explanation to why you don't see it. Because it never happened. It never rotated around on the other side of the moon. Because it don't make sense. You got the so-called gravity and planets and all the other stuff going on in space. All of these planets should be rotating around. All of them, not just planet Earth, not just certain planets. But if they're roaming around in space and they're not being held by anything and they're just being loose out there, they should be rotating. They should be, moving in circles like this, Just look at what I'm doing. This is the ball. It should be doing this, moving all types of ways. Or it should be spinning around like this, like I was showing you an example of this. It should be doing this stuff. Or it'll move this way, moving around. You don't see the moon doing that at all. The moon is just stationary. It's just in one spot. You never see the moon change. You never see the moon rotate or anything. But it should be, but it's not. I guess they ain't got the animation to do that with the projection, so they just explain why it don't rotate, and you're gonna believe what they tell you. The reason it don't rotate is because it's not even real. It's a projection. You see this dark side here? That's your space right there. That's space, so-called space. That's the dark side you see in the sky. You can actually look through the sun. And then when it's daytime, you ever notice in the daytime the sun is blue like the sky sometimes? Like it's like it's blending in with the sky. When you see the moon out at the same time and when it's day outside, when it's daytime, and you see blue on the moon, that's because it's a projection. That's why you can see the blue through the moon, because it's not even real. I'm gonna make another video later, you guys. Talking to my mom right now. I'm gonna post this video up and I'm gonna make another video about this stuff. But y'all just need to think about what I just said. God bless you all, and I love you.